Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Wednesday afternoon. Hope you're having a good day and you're looking after yourself and all that jazz, all that nice stuff that I always say. You'll notice though, there's a TV there. There's a stand here. I'm seated. I'm this week buying a lot of equipment for basically recording of videos. So, I am sitting at a desk that it said it would take 15 minutes to build. And as the millennial that I am, the young millennial, not an old millennial, it took me about an hour and a half because I'm an idiot. So there's that. Obviously, I will be buying myself some equipment for recording, so better quality of recording as well. So plenty of cool stuff to come. So yeah, you'll see me seated from now on. A few of you asked, why do I stand? I'm seated and I can focus. But and in this video, we're going to be talking a little bit around Spurs' stance on Emerson Royal and the potential openness to selling Emerson in this summer. We talked a little bit about the game yesterday. I think it was a travesty, but okay at the same time. I'll explain why in just a second. And I do want to briefly talk about the financial reports that came out for the season of 2022 to 2023. Okay, so plenty to get into, plenty to talk about. I just want to say that if you are new, give us a subscribe. You're watching it for the first time where I'm seated at a proper desk. I've seen it before, but not a proper desk. But let's jump in. Let's talk, though, about the game yesterday. I think that's the important thing to quickly talk about. And look, 1-1 draw away to West Ham. West Ham away is always a really difficult time because they seem to play their best games against Spurs. No one really truly understands why. They play Arsenal and fold like a stack of cards in the wind, but with Spurs, they seem to turn into prime 09-10 Barcelona. And yesterday, they didn't play that well. They defended very well. Offensively, their tactic was very much, let's get a set piece and let's put it on Vicario's head. And one thing I think we can all fairly talk about is, Vicario under the corner or things like that. He's being targeted. I'm not going to say he's weak, but I'm not going to say he's strong. I'm just saying he's being targeted. And they certainly did that. The fact that Kurt Zouma was unmarked, literally at the back post. It was literally like, in Sunday League football, you have a guy on the back post and the front post. He was sitting on the back post on his own. It looked like he was playing for us, So I don't know what happens with the defending of set pieces. It's not good enough. I think we seem to be struggling with set pieces this season. And, potentially you could look at it and say, well, Kane used to defend the front post. So you always had that guy who was a really good header of the ball at the front post, ready to clear it, which would then allow you your two centre-halves, or in our case, for the last few years, our three centre-halves, as well as Bentancur. So actually, we were a very, very big team. Sometimes Ben Davies would play left wing-back, and he's decent in the air as well. We all know he is. It showed the two centre-halves and Bentancur potentially isn't enough. I think when you look at the rest of the team, you've got Maddison, you've got Basuma, you'd have Werner and Johnson. Johnson seems to have to take up a role of, this man-to-man marking to allow a centre-half a free run at our own defending. And what I mean is he takes on a team player from West Ham, allows maybe Romero to go and just attack the ball instead of, having to man-mark someone, which I get. It's not bad to have that, tactic. But, when we look at the rest of the game, there was opportunities that we missed. Yes, the weather maybe didn't play a part, but I'm not going to put anything down to the weather. We don't need to be that kind of guy, right? We obviously scored very early. Timo and Johnson linking up, which was fantastic to see. And, it did really look like Timo was going to have a game where it was one of those ones where he's going to be dangerous. He's the guy that we're going to keep giving the ball to because he's going to keep running at Kufal. And he just stopped. I don't truly understand why. I thought Johnson gave the ball away annoyingly with some poor touches and things like that. But Timo was just quiet. After that assist, he just didn't even notice that he was there. The midfield three, I thought, played well. I think there's obviously going to be some agendas out there that people don't like Basuma and they think he's rubbish and this, that and the other. I thought he played well. Defensively was solid. So, anyone that goes he can't defend, it showed yesterday that he can defend. Bentancur, I thought, played quite well, linked up the play really nicely, progressed the ball really well. I thought Maddison had a better game, probably his better game that he's had for a little while. But what I didn't truly understand is that we subbed Maddison, and if you want to sub Maddison, I'm not worried about that. He may not be 100% fit. So if you think minute restrictions, 70 odd minutes, we then need to sub Maddison. Okay, fine. Giovanni Lo Celso is sitting on the bench. So why on earth are we bringing on a right winger to play in Giovanni Lo Celso's position? I don't get that. Kulu came on and it wasn't good. Simple as that. It just wasn't good. I think his decision-making was lacking, to say the least. And, I've seen some abuse for him and things like that on social media, so I'm not going to pile in. And, you can critique a player. I can say James Maddison for the last few weeks has had a really quiet game. And then I can say James Maddison was absolutely money and fantastic. I'm not abusing. I'm not being unfair. I'm being actually objective. With Kulu, his decision making wasn't good enough. That last minute, we've got about, a 5-on-4 or 5-on-5. We're proper breaking at pace with this one. And he decides to play a stupid ball, trying to cross-field ball it to Richarlison, who, even if he got it perfect, Richarlison still had a lot to do. Whereas if he had actually maybe used the players in and around him, a couple of quick touches, we could have got a little touch across the box for a Richarlison goal. Richarlison didn't need the ball there and then. Defensively, I thought Destiny was good. Porro, I think Porro maybe potentially is one of his worst games of the season. Gave the ball away a lot, wasn't good in the tackle. He got into so many great positions and his touch would let him down, I thought Mickey and Romero were good. Vic made a really great save for Antonio, which I'm getting to the refereeing. I'm going to put one of the tweets that I had out there. I responded to Jamie Weir in a second. And overall, look, we were solid. Maybe we lacked a little bit in the creative third. Sonny was quite quiet, but look, we're not going to win every game. So if you are one of these people that is slagging off Ange or you're slagging off the team, just bring it down here. Come back to the normal level where everyone else is. All right, I'm going to pull you up to this level, actually. It's all right. Tomorrow's another day. Breathe another day, all right? But no, I responded back to Jamie, who was talking about the discrepancy in the bookings and the fact that West Ham conceded 30. I'll read what I tweeted. West Ham had 1 booking from 13 fouls. Spurs had 4 from 9. Make it make sense. I know he's not good at his job, but good Lord, you'd think he'd at least get a couple of decisions correct. We had a blatant free kick on Maddison when Paqueta just ran through the back of him, which then allowed the counter-attack up the field, which Antonio fouled Mickey van der Ven in that build-up as well, which didn't give that as well. So he wasn't good. He was the guy that sent off Basuma earlier on the season. He wasn't a good referee. And I can critique that. I'm not going to say he's a bad person or he's useless, he's that and the other. I can just say he's not great at his job. There's nothing wrong with that. I've had jobs where I've not been great. Yeah. And people would tell you probably even something stronger than that, probably, knowing people in this world. But he missed out on a lot of decisions. The fact we had 4 bookings, we averaged a booking pretty much every 2 fouls when they averaged every 13 fouls, a single booking. Paqueta should have been booked for delaying of game, but he booked Mickey van der Ven for a delay of game. So it wasn't good enough. Referee had a bad game. But we live and we learn. We move on to Forest at the weekend where that is a must win. Obviously, Man City play Aston Villa at home this game week. So that's going to be massive. We hope City win that, obviously, for the title race, because we want City to make sure that Arsenal don't win it. But also for us in the top 4 race, we claw another point closer to Villa. And that's the important thing. And obviously, hopefully, Liverpool go and do a job for us against Man United. Again, stop Arsenal winning the league, but also to keep Man United down there. Right now, we're 12 points clear of Man United with, not many games to go. They are counting down, and the top 5 is Champions League bound. So let me talk quickly about these figures really quickly. And look, I'm not going to be talking about crazy things, okay? So the fact that, I did notice from what really that was talked about through these figures and things like that is that the fact that, yes, we have made more in terms of revenue, but our losses did go up as well. So I think a lot of people, it's quite weird. If you see them, they're like, there's this, there's that, the other. Yeah, we made more money. But we also lost about 50, 60 million more that year, Our wages went up an extra, what was it that I read? Wage bill went up 20% to 251 million. Okay, so it's about half of the revenue, give or take. Now, Daniel Levy took a £3 million bonus, which is about the same amount that he's going to get from the season ticket 6% increase, which does look very bad. And he also did have a pay increase from 3.265 million to 3.581. Now, I have no issues with what he gets paid if the club was invested and spent correctly and we invested the way we should be investing as a top 6 club with the ambition of being better. I'd say, Daniel, take 20 million. If you're showing us that we're winning trophies, we're playing sexy football, we've got some of the best players in the world, take 20, 30, 40, 50 million. I don't care because we have that success. We don't. And he's one of the highest paid directors in all of football. There's an issue. So there's that, to be fair. They are looking at potentially a small injection from a sale of the club. They did sort of talk about it, and he said the board and its advisors, Rothschild and Co, are in discussions with prospective investors to kind of take Spurs to the next level. It's not a full sale, it'll be a minority sale. We've talked about minority sale with QSI before, so it's nothing new, it's nothing crazy. I do see it happening maybe, but it won't be this season. Well into next season, the season after. If the fact that we're taking our time with the naming rights, I doubt they're going to be so avid to get a sale done, or a potential sale done at least, So we'll keep an eye on that as well. Let's talk Emerson Royal, more importantly. That's what you're all here for. Big Emerson, vibes of Emerson. So came to team talk, he said that Tottenham plan to accept a reluctant summer sale of Star they rejected bids for in January. Star's a big word there. As such, Peter O'Rourke claimed Emerson may be well among those waving goodbye to Spurs, and Football Insider's headline read that Tottenham plan to accept Emerson Royal offer. The inference there is from Saudi sides Thunder back in with lucrative bids. Tottenham will reluctantly give the green light to a sale. He said that Emerson Royal had a bit of interest from Saudi pro sides in the January transfer window. Pedro Porro seems to be the clear first choice for right back for Postecoglou and Spurs. If there's any interest in Emerson this summer, then Spurs will have to make a decision on his future. Pedro Porro is miles clear as the number one option, even if he didn't play well at the weekend. So, look. We were offered, I think it was about 21 million from Al Nassr, which is the Cristiano Ronaldo's team, or the Brozovic, or the Sadio Mane, the Otavio team, however you want to think about Al Nassr. We rejected, obviously. I think it was going to be a difficult time to replace him with someone that we truly want. Whereas you kind of know what you have, Emerson. You wait till the end of the season. You'll be able to replace him in the summer for much better a fee, in terms of clubs will be more willing to sell at a lower amount because they'll have time to replace. They don't have to care about in the season, all those things. But I also think it would be the right time to move on. I think Emerson has made strides in being a better player, but he doesn't truly suit this system. And that's the key thing that I've said about a few players. They may be good players, but they may not truly suit the system. And that's what I think with Emerson. That's what I think with Pierre Højbjerg. That's what I think with Bryan Hill. I think Bryan Hill's probably a good player, but maybe just doesn't suit the system. Or maybe not suiting the system, but suiting the Premier League even. With Emerson, I think, look, if we were to be offered 20 to 25 million, I think they'll accept it. The fact we bought him for 26 million is just bonkers alone. Barca definitely robbed us there. But if we were to get offered 25 million, I think Spurs would accept it and they'll be able to fund more of the summer window. Will they get that offer? Only time will tell. But Saudi have got a plan action where every summer or every sort of year or season, whatever you want to call it, they're allotted to spend a certain amount. So expect this summer, Saudi be coming in for maybe a Romelu Lukaku. That's a potential. There's been chat about that. Maybe it's other clubs. You never know. But I think with us, if we're getting offered 25 million, we take it. We reinvest that into a new right back who suits the system, who can give Pedro Porro a run for his money, but also if Pedro's absolutely killing it and needs a rest, or he gets injured, or he gets suspended, that the guy who comes in to replace him is similar in style of play. So the style of play doesn't drop off dramatically. But we shall see. But anyway, guys, the video, I hope you enjoyed it. Drop a like on the video. If you did, hit me in the comment section your thoughts and feelings about the game yesterday, the financials that came out of the 2022-2023 season. Obviously, the talk of the investment, and obviously Emerson Royal potentially being sold in the summer. But yeah, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the notification for more. But anyway, guys, the video, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, guys.